Welcome back to Barnard Babble. I'm Erica.
I'm Justin.
And we're the Barnards, you guys.
Oh, baby, hello.
Hello. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday.
That did just pass, didn't it?
Yes, it did just pass. Ours was good, even though
totally.
Justin was a little sick, and therefore he said all the food was nasty.
Well,
but that's not true.
No, I never used the N-word. I never said nasty.
You might as well had.
I mean, look,
It was very insulting.
I didn't want to eat none of it. Look, the Popeyes we had the next day, my mother-in-law got us some Popeyes. Very, very kind of her. That wasn't good either. Listen,
I enjoyed it a lot.
Listen,
I
was not
good.
enjoying food this weekend, y'all, and Thanksgiving was included in that. I mean, you know, I was saying it beforehand, y'all, in the previous episodes. I didn't want any of it. I was the problem. I will say that, though. I wasn't feeling well and yada, yada. So I guess I'm the problem, but we're here now.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
What? Because I didn't want to do any of it?
You didn't want any of it? You didn't want to eat it?
I willed myself to be sick.
Well, you willed yourself to think the food wasn't good.
That's not true.
Everyone there said the food was bomb, y'all.
Once again, I'm the only one brave enough to speak truths and facts.
You might be right, but I don't know. I enjoyed the food.
I was a problem. It's true.
I enjoyed the food. I enjoyed the company, and I'm ready for Christmas.
Did we say the name of the podcast?
No.
You said welcome back, everybody. Yada yada. Hey, y'all, it's called Barnard Babble.
Yeah,
they may not know. They don't know. They got lost in some YouTube hole somewhere, and somehow they clicked on this video. They don't know what they're listening to right now.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Barnard Babble, episode 22.
Okay, welcome back. All right, so
do you want to deny the people the number of the podcast?
No, I don't want to deny them the number because I'm sure that they care.
They do care. Let us know how your Thanksgiving was down in the comments below on our YouTube channel, which we now have.
As you can tell, we're baby YouTubers because we're saying things like that.
Hey, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to beat the crap out of that subscription button. Don't forget to stomp the yard on the alert.
Stomp the yard.
Make sure you stomp on that alert.
Right. But anyway, we had a great holiday. It was good other than you not feeling well. That sucks, and I'm sorry that you didn't feel good.
That was the best part of the holiday, yeah.
But you do feel better now,
I guess.
Which is good. Oh, you don't?
I do.
Okay. Which is great, you guys. And so today we wanted to talk about a couple of things that are happening on Disney Plus.
Have you heard of Disney Plus, y'all? Please give Mickey, your overlord, all your time, attention, and money. As we have this weekend.
As we have, yes. Well, kind of, yes and no. I mean, a couple of things. My mom kept wanting to watch, like, Thanksgiving slashers and
which are not on Disney Plus.
Horror movies.
Oddly enough, yeah.
Tubi movies.
Listen, there's a lot of horrible black cinema on Tubi.
A lot.
Look into it, y'all. You'll be shocked and horrified.
But she enjoyed herself. I
mean,
don't know.
good for her. I'm not mad at it.
We showed her the Batman, and it's like, how can you watch something like the Batman and then go to whatever the heck is happening on Tubi and accept this? Because I wouldn't be able to accept it. I would be like, wow, this isn't good. Like, the production value's not good. The acting's not good.
Every movie needs to be the Batman in terms of quality? Come on.
No, but it's like a real movie. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, she was watching John Wick and a bunch of stuff this weekend.
She was watching John Wick, yeah.
So come on now.
I'm not saying, I mean, yes, but in my brain, it's hard to.
You don't like, well, see, y'all, Erica doesn't like B movies, you know? She doesn't like movies that are like bad, but like, and also funny bad. You don't.
But those movies on Tubi aren't trying to be bad.
I know.
They're trying to be.
Wait, that makes it good, though. When the movie is trying to be genuine and good and it's just bad, that's good.
No, it's not fun.
No.
That's not fun.
You make it fun. The person watches it makes it fun.
I guess.
I could watch those trash movies and I could joke on them. That would be fun. Because, like, I think we talked about it in the past, maybe not on the podcast, where, like, you watch a movie and they're going for the joke. You're like, oh, they're aware.
Okay, but what you're saying, yes,
I don't want them to be
true.
aware. I want earnest director. I want the people who made the movie to be like, we're trying to make a movie.
I feel like there's a fine line, though, because sometimes those movies, they just take themselves so seriously that it's just nothing. You can't really make fun of it other than the fact that I don't really know how to explain it. The movies that I'm talking about on Tubi are not ones that are
fun,
a lot of fun
easy to make fun of.
Like,
oh, I see
they're
what you're
just
saying.
like, oh my God, I feel like I'm wasting my hour and a half.
There's a certain level.
You know?
Okay, I'm thinking about some of the movies that I was just, joking on as I was scrolling by. You meant the movies. I know what you're saying. Movies that are like a certain cut above pure trash.
Yeah.
That you really can't make fun of. You could, but it would be like pulling
They're
teeth.
just kind of like life sucking, It's just like those kind of movies.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
It's just like, oh, this isn't fun. Like,
Sure.
I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
Watching this, and even if I was watching it with a group of people, I think we all would feel the same way.
I understand that. Yeah,
when
I
is this going to be over?
Sure, but we did have a good time watching 3 years ago. Willow.
Oh, we watched it like last year. I think.
Was it last year?
It was either last year or the year before. I mean, I'd seen it before.
Get some history, baby.
I'd seen it before. So, but we are going to talk about the movie Willow, since the Disney Plus special is coming out very soon.
And ANDOR, and maybe something else after. Stick around. Yeah,
it's possible, but we might not. But we are going to talk about, we want to do a retrospective on Willow, just because I love the movie. I've loved it since I was a child, and I've watched it maybe not a million times, but a good handful of times I've seen the movie Willow. And my best friend, it's a movie that we both actually liked, which... sometimes we don't always. Well, no, we like a lot of the same stuff. But I'm more into like the fantasy genre than she is, so I'll say that.
Sure.
But this is a movie that she watched as a kid as well, and so we would always be like Willow, like we would make the little noises and stuff. And it was a nice little bonding experience for us as friends.
And I didn't watch Willow until I guess last year, apparently.
Yeah.
But maybe it was 3 years ago where I attempted to watch it.
We tried for a couple of years, and you kept falling asleep within the first 20 minutes of the film.
We went down to another room, y'all, and I set the projector up. I bought it on DVD. Was it for Christmas or your birthday? Christmas, I think? Birthday. It was a birthday gift. She was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah, I cried and everything
because she wanted to watch it with me. Share the love of Willow with me. And yeah, I think we got maybe 15, 20 minutes in, if that. And I just was not feeling it. I wasn't feeling it.
Well, it's hard to watch movies with you because you fall asleep very easily. So
that's not true.
It's very true.
Well, I fall asleep if I'm a little tired, and I have to be super interested in something. Like I need my space to be how I need my space, right. Because I could go on the couch, y'all, and fall asleep in the living room, laying on the couch, just tucked away in the corner within 10 minutes, or I could be up 3 o'clock in the morning in my office. Because I'm doing what I want to do, Right. I think that's most people.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh. ADHD, yes.
That's not ADHD.
It is a symptom.
Don't diagnose me on this podcast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I didn't watch it until like last year. I sat down, like, let's do it, baby. Let's watch it.
And it made me so happy. I
enjoyed it. I was like, oh wow, this actually was a good movie.
You were like, Willow is a movie. When the credits started, I said, I was trying to tell you.
Because I don't know, because like these fantasy 80s movies, I didn't really watch them growing up as a kid. I maybe saw The Labyrinth a little bit, I
don't know if you did.
No, I did, because like that movie, like David Bowie in that, like I wasn't like, whoa, he looks cool. I've never seen this. I had seen parts of it, just living life. But I didn't really care about any of those movies. Never Ending Story, all of those. I just didn't care.
Those were all my things.
I was going to qualify just now. I was like, I was born in 1990. Doesn't mean anything. I've seen plenty of old movies that have come out before I was born. So that's not a good excuse. But I just didn't really watch them, didn't really care. I think I didn't really care about fantasy. And maybe I still kind of don't. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of fantasy, I guess, in that way. I think I'm more like some sci-fi and this sci-fi fiction and those kind of themes. Anyway.
Well, I love fantasy. I also like sci-fi. I like a lot of things. But I am partial to the fantasy aspect of those 80s movies that were just kind of magical. There was a magic aspect to them. But we're going to deep dive into Willow and give you guys some history and a little bit of lore and get us ready for the new Disney Plus show.
Yeah, that's kind of the reason why we wanted to pick it back up. It's not like a 30th, 40th anniversary. No, there's more of a reason. The show's coming back. It's coming,
I believe, on the
this
30th.
Wednesday.
And this was recorded on the 27th of November, you guys, 2022.
So hopefully you're listening to this tomorrow on the 28th.
Depending on how we do editing.
Yeah. And then, hey, it should get you maybe prepped or just whet your appetite for the show. I just want to start off by saying I do recommend you watch Willow. Well, I'll just start off by saying that. Go ahead, baby.
Sure, because there is going to be spoilers for, we're about to spoil Willow.
Yeah,
y'all.
I don't know if we're going to get how we do. We're not going to do heavy detail every beat of the movie, but we will spoil some stuff. I just say go watch it and then come on back and listen to the episode. If you don't care, just go ahead and listen to it anyway.
Right. And the Disney Plus show looks great. I loved every trailer.
The trailers look good.
The first trailer that came out made me cry.
I got chills. Yep.
I really think the music did a lot of the heavy lift. They started playing the Willow theme music at the end of it might have been in the whole trailer, but I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just such good. That song is so good. And it's just, I don't know, it makes you emotional if you have nostalgia for the original film, which I obviously do.
Yeah, the music in that movie definitely holds up. Probably more so than almost anything, maybe. The music is really good.
More than Star Wars?
No, sorry. I meant more so than anything in Willow.
Oh.
I'm the music is really good. I didn't mean it's the best theme. There's no other, the greatest theme of all time. I just meant for Willow. You're like, what? You fool.
What are you talking about?
Okay. You know what, y'all? I'll just sit back and sip my water. This is Erica's episode. Go ahead, baby.
No, this is our episode. Should we give facts or should we talk about the story itself of Willow?
Well, if no one has any idea what Willow is, maybe we should, let them know what the base premise is first.
Okay. Well, Willow, it's obviously we're talking about fantasy. It's a fantasy movie, came out in 1988, directed by Ron Howard.
Hey, that one guy, yeah. And
the story was written by George Lucas. He didn't write the script, but he wrote the original story, and then his what do you call it?
Uncle.
No, his
DP, his digital projectionist, right? What are you trying to get at? I
was gonna say his company did all the effects.
Oh, Industrial Light and Magic.
Yeah, they did
ILM.
Industrial Light and Magic did all the effects for the film.
Aren't they struggling now, or because haven't there been a bunch of reports in the last few years of how maybe it's just bad business practices or crunch or the work environment is just terrible because they don't give. But isn't that? I'm pretty sure people will criticize a Marvel movie for the effects and people will say, "Hey, listen, ILM was doing the best they could, but they had to make this or do this so quickly." Mm-hmm. I forget. I mean, I don't know if ILM has done all this stuff, but I feel like over the past few years, it's been kind of, I don't know about marred in controversy, but it's just they be struggling.
I haven't heard anything about it. I just hear the culture of people that edit and do effects has not been good. But I haven't heard. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that's probably true. I have no idea.
I don't know
for Industrial Light and Magic.
Pulling that out of,
I'm do they even still do things? I mean, I'm sure they do, right? I mean, are they still working on all the Star Wars?
I don't know, actually.
Part I don't know how that works.
Listen, whoever was doing Andor, keep hiring them. Yeah, anyway, we'll get to it.
Whoever did Andor, keep that up. But our story follows Willow Ufgood. So yeah,
we're gonna nail all the names, guys.
We're gonna get all the names. Who is a not a Dakini? That's what they call the big people.
Tall humans.
He's a Nailwig.
He's a Nailwig.
That's the name of the Hobbit-like.
The
people.
race?
Yeah, the Hobbit-like race. Which, Willow, there's a lot of Lord of the Rings. You could tell George Lucas was reading the Lord of the Rings when he wrote this.
Did we tell him what the premise is yet?
No. I mean, I'm working on it.
Okay. I mean, maybe we should read a synopsis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I could read a synopsis, y'all.
Just in case people have no idea what this is.
Enter the world of Willow.
Uh-huh.
Journey to the far corners of your imagination to a land of myth and magic. They're not giving us anything. Where dream and reality live side by side to a place that never existed, a time that never was. What is this?
What? Keep reading.
I was going to say what the movie was about. It is a world where a young man named Willow lives out an adventure that explodes beyond the boundaries of his own hopes and fears.
That's it?
That's it.
That's like the official Google synopsis?
Yeah.
That's terrible. I mean, you
really
get the
bad.
idea. You could just be like, adventure. His name is Willow, adventure.
It is essentially, it is an adventure film.
Y'all like Lord of the Rings? It's kind of like that, I guess. I don't know. Not really.
But there's a whole, Snow White situation happening. There's a wicked queen who is over the land, and there's a prophecy of a baby that's going to destroy her, a baby girl that will come and ruin her reign. And I guess there's some biblical aspects here, too, because a maid helped sneak the baby off onto a basket in a river.
Oh.
And the baby flows down the river to
Moses.
To safety and ends up getting in our lead character's hands, Willow. Played by Warwick Davis.
Good old Warwick
who
Davis.
is an absolute legend. He was only 17 years old.
Man, he was a baby. Wow.
When they filmed Willow. Like, absolutely wild.
He was a child.
But he's got a wife. He's got 2 kids.
Yeah, I know, right?
So, I mean,
yeah.
I guess I don't know the
within Willow,
culture.
Not Warwick himself.
Yeah, yes. In the movie Willow,
Yeah.
he's got a family. But I never would have thought that.
Well, he looked young, but
he
yeah.
looked young, but still, I was like, well, he got wife. He got wife and kids. Clearly, This man's probably in his 40s, his 30s. Something like that.
He definitely was not in his 40s for sure.
17 years old.
Sure,
yeah.
He's young. But yeah.
Little baby.
Warwick
Coming
Davis.
off of Star Wars.
Warwick Davis is very prolific. If you've seen a little person in a movie, it was probably Warwick Davis.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
His.
Let us not forget Leprechaun.
I mean, I would never.
Yeah.
Leprechaun in the Hood?
All of the Leprechauns.
No. I mean Leprechaun in the Hood.
Yes, Leprechaun in the Hood. He is the Leprechaun.
It's so bad.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm like, the one when he was in Vegas is probably my favorite one.
I don't remember any of them.
You really shouldn't. I barely do. I remember like 3 scenes from each movie. I know Jennifer Aniston was in the first one.
Oh.
He was in Vegas in one of them.
Yeah.
He was in a hood smoking weed in another one.
Yes.
So like, I don't think he said the N-word. Thank God. Don't cancel the Leprechaun, please, y'all.
Don't cancel Warwick.
But yeah, he's had a prolific career.
Oh yeah, one of the absolute greats, and he's reprising
Was this his first
role.
movie?
No, Star Wars. No.
Star Wars was his first.
I don't know
movie.
if that was his first, but that's what people. He
Sure,
did that
sure.
before this.
Oh, okay.
So he played, I think, the main Ewok.
He was.
Star
You're right.
Wars.
Yeah. We watched some videos, y'all, getting prepped for this podcast. You're right. He was one of the Ewoks. He was a little kid in that
Yeah,
one.
he was a little kid in that.
Oh yeah. So yeah, he really has
Like a
been in
little
this,
kid.
this
Yeah.
game for a long time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's been doing it for a minute. So he finds the baby. He wants to be a wizard. He wants to be able to do magic.
Does
And
he want to go on adventures? Not about all
I
that.
don't know.
He's just okay. Go on.
But no one in his village, thinks he can do it, and he doesn't get picked to be a wizard or whatever.
The mage of the village or whatever it's called.
I guess something like that. I don't want to get too detailed because I don't know all the details, and then it'll look like I don't know nothing about the movie.
We listen, y'all. We would not want to come off as we don't know what we're talking about.
I'm like, so don't ask me too many questions. Anyway, so he's not chosen, but the wicked queen lady,
the Wicked Witch of the East. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the West.
She sends her little war dogs or killer dogs or something to come get the baby and hunt down the baby. I'm trying to think of her name. Queen Bavmorva.
Bav or Bad?
I think it's Bath.
Bath.
Yeah.
Or Bath, like she's dirty. Bath Morta. Okay.
She sends dogs to come find her. They're like scary wolf things. I don't know, but
they look really
they
stupid.
look really bad. To find the baby, and then so Willow is sent on a quest to give this baby to Dakini, which is a large person, a tall person, a big person, and that's when he runs into Mad Mardigan, who is played by Val Kilmer.
Good old Val Kilmer,
who is wonderful in this. He's absolutely.
If
amazing.
he was not in this movie, it would be a lesser film.
It's very true.
If he was not in it, I don't think I would have liked it nowhere near as much as I did.
Very charismatic. Yeah. He starts off as this rough, tough, soldier-ish knight guy. You're not really sure. You don't believe him.
He's
you think he's a thief which he might. He might be. Honestly,
he's like a rogue. He's a scallywag. What's some other words?
All the things. He's a scoundrel.
Yeah, scoundrel. Maybe not a scallywag.
Not a scallywag, but he's a scoundrel.
Yeah.
And he says he's going to take the baby and all this stuff and help and, just so he can get out of a cage that they find him locked up in.
He's a trickster.
He's got the messed up teeth It's great.
He's struggling.
It's real great. He's desperate. And then he ends up, that Willow does give him the baby, and some things happen, and they're on the run. And then we meet Sorcha. We meet Princess Sorcha.
Sorcha Ronan, yeah.
Who is the daughter of the bad queen lady, and she's real mean to everybody, and she's chasing them, trying to get the baby and stuff like that. But she ends up getting turned by...
Oh, no?
Well, yes, I guess she does get turned on.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was helping you.
Mad Mortigan, yeah. I mean,
and that's why she changed sides, because she likes the way Val Kilmer looks, and who could blame her? Right.
He says very nice things to her.
Is that not what you were going to say?
No.
Okay.
I think he's put under a love spell, and so you know, she's one of the first people he sees, and so he's like, you know, you're so beautiful, and this and that, and I would love to die by your hand, and anything a woman would love to hear. Yes.
Oh my God. Step on me.
Step on me. Yes. Yeah. Squish me. All those good things. So
squish that cat.
Right. Squish the cat. And so, but anyway, they go on an adventure, y'all. I don't want to ruin the whole movie, and I don't want to say the thing of Willow. I don't want to give the whole movie.
Oh, sure. I mean, okay. So, I mean, it's an adventure. Like the movie is him gathering people, and by people I mean, you know, things that are like 9 inches tall.
The brownies.
They call them brownies. I mean, but in the beginning of the movie is actually no, it's a lie. In the beginning of the movie, it's him, but doesn't he get a group of other? What's this race called?
They are called Nailwigs.
Nailwigs. Anyway, he gets a group of Nailwigs to go along with him. And so it's the Nailwigs, it's Mad Mardigan, it's the Brownies, it's that one princess girl. You know, so by the end of the movie, they have a little squad together.
Right. Yeah, and anyway. There's a wizard, I believe, or witch, or whatever you want to call her, that also helps them.
Why wouldn't there be? Yeah.
A lady, but she's an animal, and she goes, Willow! I don't know, it's my favorite part of the movie. God. Her changing into different things. It's great. It's a very 80s movie, you guys, and the effects are not very good. But dear God, they thought they were doing it back then in the day. They were very, you could tell they felt very proud of their effects and what they had gotten done. But watching it today, it's like, oh.
Well, no, there's a lot of it that does not hold up. And
oh, no.
You don't want to, I mean, it's you know, the time it took place in, but maybe that's not even a great excuse, because there's older movies that look better in terms of some of the effects. But it can look a little rough. When we were watching it, I don't think I was, you know, poo-pooing it too hard. Like, oh, it looks so bad. I don't think I did that too many times. There's maybe two parts that kind of stand out as like, yikes, this is aged kind of rough.
Right.
But yeah,
they did not look good.
They didn't.
Not at all.
For the most part.
Yeah, not at all.
Probably the biggest problem with the movie, honestly.
I think so. Another fun little fact, though, is that Val Kilmer ended up marrying Princess Sorcha.
He did. Yeah, they met in the movie. In some of the behind the scenes stuff we watched, Val Kilmer was saying he would get frustrated because he would go in for the kiss and he would forget a line.
Were being funny.
And so I wonder, was that him just being subtle of how he wanted to keep kissing her?
Well,
is that what that was?
Yes, they were just being silly.
Okay, I couldn't tell because he was deadpan.
You normally don't do that when you're.
What you mean?
Well, actors normally keep it very professional when they're doing interviews or talking about a kiss scene or a love scene or whatever. They're normally like, I couldn't even remember my lines after I kissed Tom Holland. You know, it's very oh, yeah, we had to do a kiss and, you know, it's whatever.
Oh.
But they were playing up the
fact
that I
could not tell that he was joking because the way Val Kilmer told
it. Too.
Did she?
She said the same thing.
You know what? I was probably on Twitter.
Yeah.
But, okay. But yeah, they met in the movie. They fell in love. They got married. I think they were together for at least some amount of years. They had 2 kids.
I think 8 years or something.
Yeah. So, you know, good for them.
And a couple of kids. And he had seen her before, I think in London or something.
Oh, in London town.
And kind of had fallen for her there, but I don't think they had much of an introduction or anything like that. But he was, and this is from his Val documentary, you know, where he's talking about.
No, I don't. What?
Meeting her. You know that he did a documentary, I think it came out this year, called Val.
Oh, I did
Val
not know
Kilmer.
that. No, I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You did. You don't remember, but you did.
Thank you.
It was kind of a thing. It was a thing. Because his son did the talking in the documentary for him. Because, you know, his voice is messed up and everything. But great documentary. Y'all check it out. We ain't talking about Val, but check it out. I think it's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's really good.
Is it?
But I think so,
Okay.
yeah, because that's how I watched it.
Oh, okay.
And but he talks about how they met and all that kind of stuff. And he does talk about Willow too in the documentary. Willow leaves, his little village or whatever. And I don't think you asked that question if he wanted to leave. I don't think he really did because he loved his wife so much. He's got his kids.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was harvest time, so he's trying to get like his stuff harvested and
Sure.
and things like that. And his wife is so sweet in this movie. Like every time she's on the screen, I just want to cry. Like I don't know, it's like her face or something. And like their love just seemed really real to me. I don't know why.
Sure.
But it was just so sweet, like her saying bye to him and giving her like she gave him her braid and like I just was like, oh my God, this is so sweet.
Did Warwick and her end up together?
I don't know.
What happened with that?
No, probably not.
Dang.
I mean, they could have, but it was just so sweet. And Queen Bafmonda,
the villain,
these names.
Bafmonda. I feel like every time we say her name, it's going to be slightly different.
It's something different every time. She also was in Return to Oz with our girl Farousa.
Yeah, if y'all haven't seen Return to Oz, oh God, check it out.
Mom was watching that.
My mom was
watching that while she was here. Yeah, for Thanksgiving.
Erica's mom was watching it. What?
And she was like, "I love this movie," and I'm like, "Me too."
Are we related?
Are you my mother?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was like,
she was a villain in that. Which is pretty cool.
She plays a Princess Mombi. Yeah,
and that. Apparently it was only 3 years in between filming. The Return to Oz one came out first, and I was like, "Woof, some rough 3 years."
Maybe they put makeup on her in Willow.
I don't know. It looked pretty natural in Willow.
There's makeup. There's makeup on her,
or maybe just a lack of makeup in Willow.
But the whole vibe of Willow, it's a lot like Lord of the Rings, where like small things can make a difference in the grand scheme of things,
of battle and this this world. Yeah,
you have this small character, you have Willow, and he's not a good magician, and he's not a wizard, but he does end up learning.
Yeah,
but he has a lot of heart. Like he's a good person, and he changes the people around him. Mad Mardigan has a wonderful arc in the film, and so does Sorsha. It's a good arc, not as good as Val Kilmer's characters.
No.
Arc in the film.
Val's felt more natural, but I think it's maybe because we got to spend more time with him.
You do
whatever.
get to spend more time with him, but just like seeing him gradually helping Willow, and like even like there's a scene where they're tied up on a wagon and the wagon's pulling them, but they're tied up and they're walking, and obviously Willow, he has tiny legs and he's struggling, and Mad Mardigan puts him up on his shoulders. Like, it's just really sweet. He's just like, let me help him, the movie, he's not doing well.
The movie like felt really natural, which is weird for like a fantasy. It had a good flow to it. Sometimes, especially like modern movies, they feel just like too written sometimes, or
too formulaic.
Too formulaic. Just like
you gotta hit this beat, this
boom,
beat,
boom,
this
boom.
beat.
But like,
but then they also cut a lot out, so you don't get a lot of character development.
That's a big part of it. Is the character development. Yeah.
And I think Willow's character development was like, he was very homesick and things like that, but he really came into his own of becoming a hero and facing his responsibilities and doing the things that he knew was right to do, even though he was scared to do a lot of them. He still ended up doing them. It was a really, really sweet story. And mostly everything's practical for the most part, because that's how they did things back in the day. Yeah. But there was a lot of blue screen, for like the
brownies and whatnot.
Brownie scenes and some fairy scenes and things like that.
And in the movie, the brownie stuff didn't look too bad from what I remember. They did an okay job.
It's not too
mixing it in the movie.
bad. I can barely understand what they're saying, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, maybe you need subtitles for the brownies. Huh?
You do need subtitles for them, but it's not bad.
No,
Okay, they did end up doing 3 sequels for Willow, but they weren't on the big screen and they're not on television. They are in book form,
novels, if you will.
Yeah, so there are 3 novels, and they take place. The first one takes place a year after our events in the 1988 the Willow film, and it's Willow wanting to go see baby Alora and visit her, and I guess adventure ensues.
Yeah.
And then the next couple of books is Alora growing up and her becoming adventurous and a hero herself and going on her own little journeys and things like that. Very interesting. And then I know there was like I thought there was a comic book run for a little bit.
I think there was.
Well, not just
One-off.
of the movie, but yeah, like, maybe this is maybe they're talking about this novel, but I always thought I remember being in a comic book stores and seeing Willow.
Maybe it wasn't like an official release. Maybe it was a guy who owned a comic shop, like made a comic and just put it in the racks and was like, hey, what? It's my fanfic of Willow. What if him and, what's his name? What's his name? Val Kilmer's character?
Mad
Mardigan? What if Warwick Davis and Mad Mardigan, their characters got together instead of Saoirse? And Saoirse.
Wait, who's getting together with who?
Warwick Davis and Matt Mardigan.
Oh, okay.
Listen, don't question the comic book store's owner's fanfic.
I just wanted to make sure I heard. I was like, who's getting
Oh, you heard it right.
What's going on?
The true story of Willow.
Okay.
Listen, guys,
Willow
gather around.
leaves his lovely wife for Mad Mardigan.
Listen, they were in love.
2 kids.
They were in love. Listen, what can I say? Well, I was going to say the reason why it went to like novels is because apparently, like a lot of these movies, these fantasy movies in the 80s, it did not do well, right?
Right, it did not do well, and well, it did. Honestly, I mean, it made its money back.
You know what? Yeah. It made some money, but it wasn't like a industry like whoa stand like people weren't looking at Willow like it took over. And I guess it had some competition when it came out. Rambo and Crocodile Dundee and a bunch of other things were coming out around it. So I think maybe some people talked it up to maybe bad release time.
Right.
I don't think it did particularly well with critics. I think they were a little bit harsh on it.
I think so.
Which, that I could be wrong about that, but that feels right. It feels like a movie that critics are kind of crapping on.
It had a budget of $35 million.
And it made like 50
and they made
right?
$137
Overall?
million worldwide.
Okay, worldwide.
I think in the States they made a little bit over that 35.
I thought it was like 50 something. Like
I think about 50.
Maybe. Okay.
So not as much as they kind of wanted to make.
That's a good amount of money. I think,
did okay.
So it sounds like they did fine, and if it released like this year and had that kind of return, they would have been like, oh, not too bad. Maybe we'll try a sequel.
Right.
But for back then, they were like, nah, we put way too much time and effort into this. This needed to make a lot more money.
Well, back then, a lot of the fantasy movies weren't making any money.
Yeah.
So, like, Labyrinth didn't make money. The Return to Oz didn't make really any money, and so forth.
There was a few others.
A trend of those movies not doing. I don't know if the Neverending Story did well back then. I want to say it didn't as well. Didn't do.
Let's just lump it all together.
Okay.
None of them did well.
People weren't feeling it. People didn't want it. I
wonder what that is.
You would think when you get Star Wars, where that's sci-fi, I guess.
Yeah, sci-fi fantasy.
Fantasy. So, but it has since done very well. It's a cult classic. It's a movie very near and dear to us elder millennials. We love it because we grew up with it.
Us elder millennials. It really is one of those movies. In the video we were watching, just to get some facts and information on. The guy said, I haven't ever met a person who said they didn't like Willow.
And
I guess
it's true.
I'm sure they're out there. But yeah, like I agree. Like I watched it, I was, this is a good movie. I do enjoy this. I put it off for years. I'm glad I finally watched it. Right. I get it now. Yeah.
The pacing's decent. There's some good jokes there, especially with
Eclipse by
Mad Mardigan. And speaking of him, there's charismatic characters. You really feel for Willow, and you care about the main character of the film. There are some stakes.
The villains do feel somewhat formidable.
Villainous.
Yeah. And villainous.
And once again, the score is just brilliant. Like, it's a beautiful, beautiful score. And it really elevates the movie. And they did shoot things really well, too. And it's excitingly shot. There's a lot of chases.
The cinematography is good, yeah.
Yeah, there's chase scenes that, I don't know, you just kind of really get into it. And I remember as a kid, it just was like, wow, where are we going? It was just this great epic kind of adventure.
I wish I watched it as a kid, because if I did watch it as a kid, I would have enjoyed it instead of being in my 30s watching it. Yeah, I would have been. This is amazing. But hey, having said that, I still enjoyed it while I was in my 30s.
Right.
So,
and
take
now
for that what you will.
The fear is
what?
We've got this new Willow coming out.
It looks good. We talking about the fear.
They've got some of the original cast coming back. They got Warwick Davis back. They got the actress that played
Saoirse.
Yep, Saoirse.
Saoirse. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Have I been saying her name wrong this whole time?
Let's
back. Start over.
Everybody's on pins and needles to see if Val Kilmer makes an appearance or if they have some sort of story for him.
I'm sure they'll reference him if anything.
Because you could assume they got married and he became a king of this, which is crazy if you think about it. He becomes the king of this land and everything because he's him and the princess.
Yeah, I wonder. I wonder how they will address the Val Kilmer. Sorry, I can't say his name. The Val Kilmer of it all.
Right. And Alora will probably be an adult at this time, too. Sure. They've shown, like, his little crew of people, his group.
Looks really good.
And everyone looks great. They've got the one guy in it.
Capable.
The one guy in it from...
that Netflix show?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
The one guy who's in like black people, but black people in Victorian ages, and they were fancy.
Oh, you talking about something else. I don't know what that is.
Okay, not just black people, but it's like, they're like, I forget the name of that dang show. It's like set in a certain age where you probably wouldn't see a lot of minorities, and they happen to be in prominent roles, and you're like, I guess I'll suspend disbelief for this.
There's a lot of stuff like that
and he was a standout character, but apparently in the books, he only was around for a little bit.
I wish I knew what you were talking about. I don't know what.
Maybe I'm getting my characters mixed up or my fantasy movies mixed up.
Well, I was talking about the guy that's in the Grand Budapest movie. He plays Zero.
Oh, definitely not talking about him.
Yeah,
okay.
I was talking about him. He puts his hand on some weird puppet fish thing, and I'm just like, I love all of this. This is what I love.
Weird puppet fish.
I love weird puppet things. Give me real life stuff the actors can touch.
Yeah,
practical effects. Like, what is it? It has giant eyes, and I'm in love with it. And the wonder on his face, and
wonder on his face.
Yes, and Willow's there. He's got his crooked wand, and the music's playing, and it looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I'm really excited. But it is Disney and Lucasfilm. It's Lucasfilm and it's Disney.
What you saying? Like,
and lately they have
they've been struggling.
They've been struggling to produce really good stuff.
Well,
so
they have been.
You
have been struggling, yeah.
I don't know if they got George Lucas involved at all because he wrote the story.
Hopefully not.
And they probably didn't. Knowing him.
Good. His best years are behind him.
Why do you keep saying stuff like that?
Have you not seen the prequels?
The prequels have had a resurgence.
Okay, listen. Just because people went back and been like, hey, you know what? Those Star Wars movies weren't that bad.
They weren't great, but at least there was lore, there was suspense, there was romance.
Listen, I'm not...
And the sequels didn't give us any of that. The best thing the sequels gave us was Kylo Ren. Okay. And everybody knows it, and that's about it.
And a lot of people would even disagree with that.
And some people would.
I say the best part about Star Wars, the new ones, was Rose, personally. Anyway, no, like, come on. Those prequels were still not good. I don't care if the trilogy's kind of,
But you can't take the original 3 movies away
I'm not taking away from that, man.
That's the way you're talking, though.
Listen,
that he's not.
Defend your billionaire George Lucas all you want. I'm just saying that those prequels were still they had great moments in them. Obviously, I mean, I did grow up with those movies. I was like 9 and 10.
Did you? Sometimes I doubt it.
Sometimes I doubt it. I was like 9 and 10 watching episode 1 and just like amazed, mostly by like the music and the fights because what the story was
that's
dog
what I
water.
Call pod racing.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I watched that first movie. I enjoyed that pod racing scene. I know people kind of don't like Anakin in that, but
I was in high school when that first movie came out, and I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? See, I was a kid. I was like 8 and 9 watching that crap.
Like, I watched it like 10 times, of course, because I was a child. And what else are you gonna do? You're gonna watch the movie.
Sure, but even as a child, I knew Jar Jar was wrong. He was wrong for this world. He should not have existed.
Aww.
But anyway, just real quick, wrap it up, Willow. We recommend it. Go watch it.
Go watch it. Get ready for the Disney Plus show.
Watch that movie. I don't know if you need to read the books, but watch the movie. Get ready for the show that's coming out Wednesday. And I kind
of want to read the books. They sound interesting. I bet you this new show, if they're smart anyway, is probably taking a lot from those 3 novels.
I'm sure. I don't know if it's like, hey,
especially if they're dealing with an adult Alora, or however you say the baby's name.
Sure.
Then because that is what those books are essentially. So. I'm just glad that I keep forgetting the man's name.
Warwick Davis.
I'm just glad that Warwick Davis was a baby when he filmed the film,
so he could still be
and
around.
that he's still
today.
around to do things like this.
Yeah,
and he's still in a lot. Like I don't know if he's in every
good.
Star Wars movie.
He looks good,
but I know he's in most of them. And yes, and exactly, he looks good.
I'm like, okay, Warwick.
You know, and it's like
he aged good.
Still got him. He did age. He did age good. It's like a fine wine.
A fine
and I
Warwick
guess
Davis wine.
You know what? We are on the subject of Star Wars. We were just a second ago.
Yeah.
We want to talk about Andor, at least the season finale, because
disgusting.
Wow,
hated it.
This gross
piece of trash. No,
what a bad show.
It is.
It's so good.
One of the best things that Disney Plus has put out that has come out of Star Wars since the original trilogy. Well, I know some people have been going back and forth between Mandalorian and Andor.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting, man. It's weird comparing them.
I don't want to say one is better because
it's weird comparing them. They're pretty different.
They're very different. So I don't like saying.
But
I mean, you
so
can
good.
say I like one more than the
sure
other because of just your personal taste. Like maybe you enjoy a more serious tone, a more serious story, or maybe you like to have just a little bit more fun. Which Mandalorian is just
more fun.
More fun.
Yeah, Baby Yoda is he's more fun than Andor's mom, like struggling to breathe. Yeah.
God, it's so good. The last 3 episodes have just like tears.
Oh sure.
And even this final episode, there might be light spoilers, you guys, but we're gonna skirt. We're gonna skirt around
light
as
spoilers
much as
for
we can.
Andor, but we'll try to talk, just base themes and what we thought overall. But we'll try not to spoil it. I will say, watch it if you didn't like the first few episodes or whatever. The show really does pick up. That first episode, I still think it's solid. And then I remember the second episode, like cause we've talked about it over a few episodes here and there on this podcast, saying that it was okay. That second episode, I'm starting to already feel it. Like, oh no, it really does pick up. Like there's little arcs in there, and then once it gets going and moving, it really does not dip in quality. It just keeps rising.
Yeah, it just goes.
Yeah,
and I was gonna say that. In this final episode, the last 3 episodes,
no spoilers,
I have just it. Well, we might.
Oh,
we
okay.
already gave the preface.
What's that slight?
Yeah, we're gonna skirt around stuff.
Maybe get the skirt and drift around these corners.
Drifting, okay, like in pod racing. Anyway, the last 3 episodes have really like brought me to tears. Like there are certain scenes where I just am like, wow, and it's just like I'm not expecting to cry. Like. No. These people, I mean, they're just talking. There's
and so
it's
much
just like,
good.
I'm not expecting to cry. Like
monologues.
This last episode, there is a wonderful monologue.
Speeches.
It's just so moving. Like it is just so moving, and even small little character moments of just like a character saying something, like one or 2 words, and you're just like,
oh, that's good.
Oh my God, like they did such a good job in like. Trying to expand this Star Wars world and letting you know this is what the rebellion is fighting for. You watch those first 3 original Star Wars films, right?
Some people do, yeah.
Oh, and the Death Star, that's bad. Oh, he took out Alderaan. Oh, that was Princess Leia's home. That's sad, I guess.
Spoilers for Star Wars.
I didn't meet anyone there. Didn't see who her parents were. Yeah. Oh,
I guess Princess Leia is sad, but she don't even seem that sad.
She's shooting guns and she's got Han Solo, But this is like on the streets, nitty gritty, the everyday people. Here's what the Republic is doing.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Yeah. And you can really put yourself in their shoes and be like, wow, if I was going through this would be awful, This is awful. I mean, this is what George Lucas was, he compared them to the Nazis and but
and
this
they
is
definitely
like
play up that like,
in Andor. Here it is, these are their tactics that they were using. They were ruthless. They didn't care. They would take you out. They were bad people and they loved it. They loved doing it, And so when the characters have any kind of like hope or momentum or like a speech that's routing, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like, let's kick in some doors. Let's bash some
like
this is so good.
You see where the resistance came from. You see where the resistance, the rebellion. You see how it got started. And I don't know. This show just really. I think there's going to be at least one more season. The show really it makes me want to go back and watch Rogue One.
It does
honestly,
make me want to watch Rogue One
granted,
again.
I think we're gonna watch it and we'll still be like, this ain't that good, but
Yeah.
I like Andor now a lot more.
A lot of people do enjoy Rogue One. Not enough character development, way too many characters, and not enough time with each one of them for me to
Each one
care.
of those characters should have their own Disney Plus show.
Baby, you don't think they already thought about that? You don't think that's probably
I want to see
somewhere down the line?
I want to see Donnie Yen and his blind self.
I'm here for that.
Whooping tail and having him and his buddy they had the
big guy.
The big guy.
Yeah.
I definitely don't remember their names, but I want them to have their own story. Look, like there's no lightsabers, there's no Jedi. Is Darth Vader even mentioned once? Like
No.
maybe
He's not, but the Emperor is.
they mentioned the Emperor a couple of times. It all feels so natural. I understand why people who are like, I come to Star Wars for Jedi. I get it. You want to see a lightsaber
For the magic.
I get it, but we've had so much of that, and I think the sequel trilogy burned people out, mostly just because it just wasn't satisfying. It did not wrap up well. I think Kathleen Kennedy, and all of them, they know
Kennedy?
they know they screwed up with the Force Awakens made a lot of money, and they had the pieces there, and they were like, we're gonna do it, and they failed. You can disagree,
they did.
But overall, I think most people would be like, the Star Wars franchise has, a stain on it. It's not like pristine. We can do whatever we want with this, and it will never fail.
Right.
But Boba Fett, I think overall was disappointing. People didn't like Obi-Wan.
Right.
I mean, and granted, I'm saying, generalizations. I'm sure there's plenty of people who do like all of this, but the vast majority of people will say Star Wars is in trouble.
Not to mention the movies.
Well, I'm saying all of it. Yeah,
which they've just stopped making.
That's what I'm saying.
Because they're nervous and they're scared.
Yeah.
They're like, what do we do? People don't like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, so when Andor was coming out, it was definitely the one, like, before the trailer was released. Because once the trailer was released, I was like, ooh, this looks good.
Yeah.
But it was definitely the one that I think most people didn't have any, like, oh, whatever. They're making an Andor show.
Right.
Oh, that's weird. And you see, if you complained about the budget for Obi-Wan, I don't know about Boba Fett. How was it? How did that
About
look?
the same.
About the same as Obi-Wan?
Same set.
They
same
spent
stuff,
so much money on Andor.
They did.
God, you can tell. Like, everything was sucked from those shows into a dang Cassian Andor show.
I'm really not sure how they got away with it.
Oof, I do not want to know the budget. I really don't want to know
how they got away with it.
It
How
looks
they
so
were like,
good.
hey, can we have this amount of money to make this show for a character that most people probably don't care about / remember who we're talking about. But they did it.
They did
Did
a
I
good job.
tell you that the guy that's directing these is the guy that did the Bourne Legacy, like the Bourne movies?
Well, he wrote some of them. I think he directed one of them. He wrote 3 of them. Yeah, you did.
Okay.
Which I love those Bourne.
You do.
The Bourne stuff, so yes.
It's very impressive.
Yeah.
This guy is very impressive.
And I mean, he has a prolific career besides just doing the Bourne movies.
I know. I know that you enjoy
I do
the
enjoy
Bourne
those, but
movies,
I think to go back a little bit, when I was saying, I understand if you don't want to get into it, maybe you don't want to give it a chance because it doesn't have, people ricocheting blasters back at people with a lightsaber, but it really is more than that. If you've ever were, I want to see if you wanted to see what the world of Star Wars was like without Jedi around, this is it. Like it's showing a deeper, more adult, which is something we've been complaining about, and a bunch of these Marvel stuff and just Disney in general. Really, it's Marvel stuff because we get it. It's Disney. It's family friendly, but some of these movies and TV shows could have more adult themes, and they don't. This definitely does.
It feels like they went against the grain. It feels like the corporation didn't have its fingers in it.
Which is I don't know how they made this.
Kathleen just said, "Do what you want," which she has done this before. Something
probably backfired.
Something she has, something she didn't. With Solo, I think what happened with that, because they were originally going to get Lorne and Miller or whatever.
The Miller brothers
and
or
they
whatever.
Were like,
Lorne Miller.
They started working on it, and I think it was just not what they agreed on.
Yeah.
This isn't what we agreed on, and they had to let them go.
And then Rian Johnson, was Rian Johnson supposed to direct the third of the sequel trilogy? He was, and they were like, listen, brother, what are you doing? We're going to bring back in the man himself, J.J. Abrams. Oh my God, we shouldn't have done it either.
She let him do what he wanted to do, and he did what he wanted. I personally don't have a problem with that Last Jedi movie.
Huh?
but a lot of
What are you
people
talking
do.
about?
What are you talking about?
The
Rian Johnson did The Last Jedi.
Oh, sorry. When you said that Last Jedi movie, I thought you meant Rise of Skywalker.
No, I have a problem with Rise of Skywalker.
Sorry. I was like, what are you talking about?
But I also get why people have a problem with
The Last Jedi.
I totally get it.
But they could have done something with that. Like, I mean, we're talking about Star Wars now.
We're getting off now.
It's kind of crazy how they didn't have a plan. They didn't have it mapped out. It's freaking Disney, and they didn't have, like you
spend what, $4 million, or what was it, million or billion?
What? On what?
How much did Disney pay for Star Wars? Wasn't it?
It was a lot more than $4 million.
Okay, was it billion? $4 billion?
They spent a lot of money, in the billions, yes. But it's kind of crazy that they didn't have a map. Anyway, back to Andor. Please, y'all, give it a chance. Watch it. Apparently, I think it was picking up over the season, but I don't think it was doing well initially.
No, people weren't watching the show. They just released the first 2 episodes on Hulu. So
just now?
Yeah. That's because it's not doing well.
That's a little late.
I mean, it's doing well, but it's not doing well. You know, it's not doing what was expected, especially for a
I wonder,
Star Wars property.
In comparison to Boba and Obi-Wan, I wonder how it's doing. Please tell me it's doing better than Boba.
But, you know, people aren't going to let their kids probably watch. And that's big factor of it, too. If you have a family that's like, oh, well, can't watch this with the kids.
It's pretty, So, it once again, it's more serious. I'm sure there's some families out there. If you type right now, if you go to YouTube and type in Andor episode blah blah with that, reaction videos, you'll see plenty of families sitting around watching people get choked out and get
choked out.
Did someone get choked out? I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Someone getting hit with a blaster, and then there's a lingering shot of their dead body on the ground.
Oh, there are lingering shots of dead bodies.
There's a lot of death in this show, and just bad moments, and not a lot of levity and happiness. There really isn't.
There isn't. But that's what sells home the show.
Yeah.
Like this last episode, I wasn't breathing. Like when there's a speech and you're listening and the music's going, and people are moving around and getting into place, and you can just feel it about to blow, like, the lid is about to come off, and the show's really good at that. Like every 3 episodes,
it's really good at building
there's
tension.
A lid coming off, like
it's really good at building
it's about
tension.
To bubble, and it is so satisfying, and it's so great. And the way that the season ends, the last bit, it's so smart, and I'm like,
we don't want to spoil it, but
this is the smartest choice this character could have made.
Good decisions
in this scene, and it makes sense. Like the show makes sense, motivations make sense. It's just it's brilliant. Like they did a good job. They made a good show. It is very satisfying. I'm like wiping tears off my cheeks.
I mean, like
wow, they did it.
When we were watching it, it almost got, I say it got me a little bit. I did have to wipe my right eye. I was like, I don't know if it's allergies or what, but it was getting me. And it's just to build, like once you put yourself in it, you immerse yourself in it. They do a good job. Like even like minor characters are making you be like, oh, okay, this guy, okay, cool. I know Andor likes that guy, so I like him a little bit, I guess. I mean, there are some characters who are a little underbaked, who they try to give, moments to, or, like, hey, Andor liked this person too. I mean, I'm going back on what I just said, so you should probably like him. But it's like, oh, we probably need to see you a little bit more to care about this character.
Right.
But like, I don't know, any complaints really pale in comparison to the good stuff in the show.
Fiona Shaw, who plays Andor's mother.
Yeah.
Chef's kiss.
She did great.
I mean, she's not in the whole show.
No, she comes in and out.
But the small portions that she's in, and especially in this episode, at the end, it is just, I mean, her performance is so good. It is, and she's great in Killing Eve.
She's in Killing Eve. She was, what's his name? Dudley Dursley's mom in Harry Potter. Is that his name?
Oh yeah, she's Mrs. Dursley.
Mrs. Dursley. I mean, she's been around for a long time. She's been around. She's more than these 3 roles, but
right. But we do love her in Killing Eve, though. She is great.
In Killing Eve, she's great.
She's amazing.
Very different character.
Diego Luna, who I honestly only knew from Rogue One, but he was in Narcos. Apparently, I don't remember.
Well, you haven't seen that one. He's in Narcos Mexico.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't watch that season.
You didn't watch a lot of this Narcos.
But he's great in this. He doesn't say a lot, but that's the character.
Yeah.
And he plays
enough.
He says enough. Yeah. He plays the character very well. And a lot of acting too is reactionary. You know, if you're a good reactionary actor, you doing it. You're winning. You're doing great.
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård, wonderful. Also,
He did
once
great.
again, you know.
Well, I mean, like it's gonna be redundant. All these actors did a good job. The
They
main,
did.
like even the small people who you may not necessarily care a lot about, everybody was casted just about perfectly. Every role, like every person came to this show and did a job. They did the thing.
Right.
It really is an impressive collection of episodes. Was it 12 episodes? I
12
believe
episodes.
12 episodes. Maybe 2 of them are you're like, what are we doing here? And you'll get
It's
into.
really just the first 2 episodes of the whole show.
I liked the first episode, so I don't even want to say that.
No, I
but
liked it, but the first 2 or 3
2 or 3
are just they're slow.
They're establishing stuff.
They're
You're like, where's this
establishing
going?
things.
So you're hearing us hype this up so much, and then you're gonna go back and watch it. You know, you're gonna go watch the first couple episodes and be like, look, this is okay. What are they talking about? Give it a chance, y'all. For real. I hate overhyping stuff. I really do. I hate it because you'll talk about something so much and get somebody excited. Like, especially if you don't know that person that well, you'll be like, hey, oh my God, this food is amazing. Oh, this movie is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
And then when they go eat it, or when they go watch it, or they go experience it, they're just like, oh, I guess it was fine.
Yeah, and then there's the conversation of, do we only like this because we've been starved as Star Wars fans? You know, Disney hasn't really been giving us a good hunk of meat, some steak, you know. But no, I think because the fact people say it doesn't feel like Star Wars, then that argument is, you know, it's not a good one, because it is just a good show.
Yeah, I mean,
regardless of, this could be taking place anytime, any place.
I get what people say when they say it doesn't feel like Star Wars, but that's, once again, I'm like, well, that's part of the reason why I like it a lot, because we've had these stories told, at least I'm sure in novels and books and comics, there's been stories like this, and obviously, you know, whatever, sure. In the mainstream, this stuff everyone has seen, the movies, we haven't seen anything like this. It is in the shows. It's the best thing Star Wars I've seen. I don't know. I mean, I don't want to say this almost. Look, I saw the original movies way after the fact. And I was not there like, yeah, I love these movies. I'm a Star Wars fan now. You know, like powering up. I thought they were good and just fine. I saw them after the fact.
You got it.
I got it. But this is probably my favorite Star Wars thing ever, probably. Honestly,
okay, that's pretty cool.
The more I think about it, I like a lot of Mandalorian. Like maybe the highest of highs in Mandalorian. It's like a different thing. Once again, like comparing them, comparing them is different. But I think overall, as a whole package, there was too many moments of me going like yes or feeling it in this in Andor than anything. So
Mandalorian had its moments that were maybe not filler things, but they were setting up for other people's shows and things like that. And that brings the Mandalorian down.
Yeah, Mandalorian.
We're not focused on the story at that point. Now we're going to Ahsoka show, to this, to that, you know. But this is tight, neat. Mm-hmm. It's just about what's happening to these people in Andor, you know, like that's it. We're not setting up anything that isn't already naturally set up, like, you know, getting we're leading up to Rogue One, obviously.
Yeah.
But there isn't any, you know, we're not sneaking in a Yoda. We're not doing anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, like the head people, the directors, whatever, said that it's not gonna be a lot of fan service in this.
Yeah.
And they were right. There was not any, like you said, everything.
Tony Gilroy. I need to put respect on the man's name. Tony Gilroy.
He said it, and
he is the creator of this show.
He stuck by it. Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, y'all, check it out. I guess if you want to.
It's really good.
It's okay, I guess.
It's okay, I guess, after all that praise. But let us know what you guys think about Andor. Let us know what you think about the state of Star Wars in general. Do you think Andor really set the bar really high? Did you hate it because it didn't have lightsabers and magic and whatever in it? Some people are sitting here
fuming like, it didn't have this. And that's okay if you feel that way. I just, me saying I didn't really, my Star Wars fandom was always low. That should be like, okay, well, that's why you like this so much, you know?
Right. When Star Wars is good, it's good. And when it's bad, man, it like hurts your feelings. Mm-hmm. You know, I feel like a lot, when people are fans, they're fans. Like it's a fanatical thing. It really, really is. And the sequels, they really hurt people's feelings, man. But this has kind of recharged me. I feel good.
I'm excited for what they announce next. Yeah,
I feel good about Star Wars. I feel good about the unknown. I'll say that. Like they've got some shows coming out on some characters I know about, and that makes me
the animated stuff and
the live action, like Ahsoka and all.
They're doing a live action Ahsoka.
Oh wow, yeah.
See, I don't care about this mess.
You are not keeping up. You are not keeping up with it. But if they keep hiring good people like Tony Gilroy, they keep getting Dave Filoni to do his thing, easy peasy.
Maybe Jon Favreau has one more good thing left in him.
Jon Favreau keep bringing him back to do some stuff. He's good when he works with David. When he's with David Filoni, they do good things together.
I can't wait for Lion King 2. I can't wait for an original story with Lion King 2 directed by Jon Favreau.
I know you're joking, but you do know it's coming out, right?
What?
You do know there's a live action Lion King 2 coming out, right?
What?
You do know they're doing that, right?
What?
It's a prequel. It's Mufasa.
What?
You do know that, right?
Are you kidding?
No, I'm not. This is one I would never lie to you. Mufasa.
I would never lie to you. When did they announce this?
Oh, a couple months ago.
They're doing a second. Oh my God.
Yep. It's real.
The origins of Mufasa?
It's happening, yep.
I don't know what I feel. I don't like that. That's a lie.
happening.
I'm going to say I don't know how I feel about that.
It's happening, and it's probably going to be that fake James Earl Jones voice, because he signed his voice over to whatever company is doing the voice the voice stuff. Yeah, editing his voice, and robots are doing it now.
I don't like that.
Yep, it's real.
Okay.
Let us know how you guys feel about Willow. Are you excited for the new Willow show coming out on Disney Plus? Do you have really sweet memories of the original Willow movie? Do you think it's trash? Do you love it? We would love to hear from you down in the comments below, you guys. We want to form a community, and that takes you guys helping us out with that. So let us know your thoughts.
Hey, we've done our jobs. Do yours.
Exactly.
Oh, hey, one last thing. That Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas thing, I didn't really like it too much. Real quick, y'all. It was 40 minutes. I didn't really like it. They tried. It's nice seeing the characters, talk and interact and do stuff. But overall, what the story was, didn't really care.
Yeah, I want to give it more than 5 seconds. So
you do?
I'll pass on saying.
You'll pass on talking about it.
Other than it didn't offend me. Yeah.
I was kind of offended a couple times. Well, I'll give my quick opinion. Didn't really care for it. Stay tuned for Erica's opinion next time, maybe. Oh,
it's possible. Probably not.
Oh, okay, y'all.
It's possible. Probably not. But you can always listen to this episode anywhere you like to get your podcasts, like Spotify, Apple, iHeart Music,
Google Podcasts.
We are there,
wherever.
you guys. Just FYI, if you just want to listen and you don't want to be on YouTube,
that's
for
also
whatever
understandable.
reason, it's an option. But thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
We appreciate your time more than you know. Tell us about yourselves. Tell us what you like, your movies, your shows, your video games. That's what we do around here, you guys. Let's
y'all
start
like
a conversation.
God of War? I just beat it. I loved it.
Wonderful.
I just wanted to prove to them that I play video games, baby.
Great. Because I'm like, wonderful. Good. I got to play it. But y'all, I hope everybody has a good day. Thank you again. Appreciate you. We'll be back next week with something else for you.
See y'all next time.
See you next time, y'all. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. If you enjoyed what you heard, check us out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Barnard Babble. That's BARNARD BABBLE.